a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Deus Ex Media.
The bits.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds. What was I last week? Frog? No, I was Lizard. Wait, who the fuck was I?
That's Ribert. I'm Charbine.
Yeah, we're those people. And hey, Charlie,
Robert?
I noticed that the door to Rose's room is unlocked.
Oh shit. I wonder what's gonna come out. What? Is there someone in there? Oh look, it's Josh.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
That was actually a good bit. Holy crap.
It's almost like you planned it.
Sometimes we have good bits.
Sometimes we have good bits, but yes, it's Josh. Everyone, say hi to Josh.
Hello.
Everyone, I mean just me and Charlie, I guess, even though we already said hi.
Hello, it's the super scary. It right there.
It's the super scary.
Josh, it's been a while since you've been on the podcast, so if you'd like to tell everyone again who you are, what you do, and why you exist.
Absolutely. Well, hello everyone. I am the super scary host here on the Deus Ex Media family, with our lovely siblings here at the Bits. We release episodes every Monday with all the things scary and horror movie related, which it's Charlie's favorite thing. I'm sure they're tuning in every week.
You know it is. Absolutely. Me and the horror, we get along so great,
Right?
obviously. When I sold movie tickets, nobody called me a chicken when I said I don't watch horror.
Yeah, it has been quite a while, but of course, we had this little thing called the actors and writers strike that put a wrench in all of our podcasts pretty much.
Both of us especially. Like we just like had to not podcast, and you were just like, what do I do? Help me, friends.
What do we do?
But you got ideas. You were creative.
Yeah, I did some books. Thankfully the Studio A24, which does a lot of more like elevated horror and kind of I guess that's the best way to describe it. But at any rate, I was able to cover those movies, so I didn't necessarily completely fall off the wagon, but
Yeah.
I felt bad for y'all and Cabbages and other podcasts that were affected by this. So, but I'm happy that we're back and happy that I can hop on this episode with y'all.
Heck yeah.
Do you know how many times we've been like, wow, we should have gotten Josh on for this episode.
There have been way too many disturbing episodes. Cat Fingers. You were on for Scribo, but let's see. Cat Fingers. What were the other disturbing episodes, Charlie? Cat Fingers and
oh goodness. I mean, so many birthdays.
Oh, so many birthdays. Yep.
Like that's a little terrifying too. Maybe Lars and the Cool Kids when they're all like suffocating from that stuff. Just there's a lot. There's a lot in this show that's just a little bit scary, a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
You could say it's super scary. Oh,
hey yo.
But you know what's even scarier than that?
What?
Acknowledging that today's episode, Rose's Room, came out. It is season 1, episode 19, and it came out May 14th, 2014.
Wow. And guess what? We're in 2024 now.
Yeah, did we say Happy New Year's last time? No, I don't think we did. Either way, Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
My New Year's resolution is to not cry as much as Steven.
But he doesn't cry ever. What are you talking about?
Never.
You were just crying about snakes. They don't have any arms.
They don't have any arms. Friends, shall we divulge? Shall we delve into Yeah, no, let's divulge. Hey, spill the tea. What's your tea?
I will
Let's-
divulge all of my coughs,
let-
all
let-
of the mucus.
Let's turn into one of those podcasts. Let's turn into the Ned's Declassified podcast where we start talking about like the people we had sex with on set.
Oh God, they are sharing
yeah.
way too much. I did not need to know anything that I've seen from that podcast.
Really too much. But you know what also is too much this episode, which begins with Steven finishing off a can of creamed corn.
He ate 4.
He didn't need to eat them to get the coupons, though, right? Did he say that?
No, you could probably peel off the coupon. And the reason he ate them is because they each had a $5 coupon for mini golf.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love that he's just like, I want to go to mini golf, do normal things with the gems.
It makes sense. Like, Steven doesn't have money. How do the gems have money? Who gets money? We've had our theories before that,
remember,
like,
Greg pays child support even though he doesn't make a lot of money.
we've also had our theories that the gems are like bank heist people, or that Garnet used her future vision to invest in Apple.
Oh, absolutely. She does. She does. Also, I want to know, are they paying rent?
Are they paying taxes?
Like, they're definitely not paying taxes because like none of them are citizens.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, Greg is the only person here who's actually doing stuff. Like,
the question is Steven a citizen? Because he was not born in a hospital. He was just
he
like,
doesn't have a birth certificate, does he?
oh, right. Wasn't that a big thing in that episode where Connie's mom was like, the first time he goes to the doctor, they can't find record of him?
I don't think they talked about the birth certificate, but they're just like, this is the first time you've been to a doctor, kid. You were like 16, 17 years old.
You are 16, going on 17. You are super traumatized.
Speaking of traumatizing, I would never eat just 4 cans of creamed corn straight from the can.
That sounds terrible.
I'm trying to remember what creamed corn tastes like, because I don't think I've ever eaten it.
I've definitely not eaten this.
Maybe once. I feel like I can gather the idea of what it tastes like in my head. I guess I need to get a can of cream corn. Charlie, that's what we should do the next time we see each other. Eat a can of cream corn.
Well, we still need to eat together breakfast and Cookie Cat. I think what we're gonna need to do the next time we see each other is just have a Steven Universe cooking day where we just like make a bunch of the things and then we like post them like to maybe your new YouTube that's coming out eventually.
My new YouTube that's coming out, yeah. That'll be fun.
I will pray for your digestive systems if you do that.
Listen, the cream corn is the only bad one, okay? Together breakfast is just, it's just a lot of sugar.
Speak for yourself, Charles. My digestive system can't handle sweets anymore.
Oh.
I eat a candy bar and then suddenly my body is like, hey, no, you can't do this anymore. You I guess 26 is old now to my stomach.
Oh.
Wait till you get to 32, honey. It's terrible.
It's oh god.
I can't survive without sugar, so I can't relate.
Charlie, maybe one day you will no longer be a sugar fiend.
No. That'll probably be the day that I get diabetes, but no.
Oh no.
And even then. So, unfortunately, when the gems come back, they reveal that they have to leave yet again because they have another mission to go on.
Of course they do, because they're busy and they're trying to save the world constantly, but they don't have the Spider-Man problem. They don't have like the identities or like different lives. They're just like, no, this is our job. Like, this is what we do. We don't need sleep. We don't need to eat. We're gonna go save the world.
It's less Spider-Man and more Doctor Who in terms of the way they feel like it's their job to save people. And they regenerate, and they're old gay space rocks, which is Time Lords, crystal gems, they're the same thing. Just
honestly, yeah, no. The gems and the Doctor, they're all the same, except the Doctor has more of a love for humanity, and the gems are still like humans. I mean, we'll save them because that's what we should do, but like we don't really care about them and getting to know them. Like that's what we dealt with last episode in the beach party. It's like, yeah, we destroyed their business, but like we're saving their lives, so like who cares? We don't need to get to know them as neighbors. We just need to save them. And the Doctor would get to know them.
Steven decides that since he can't go out mini golfing with the crystal gems, he will play a game called Golf Quest Mini, which is absolutely, I don't know if you guys saw it. I thought Pokemon parody. That's it.
You're right.
Pokemon.
Or like Final Fantasy 2 or
Yeah,
whatever.
I was gonna say Final Fantasy is definitely in there. According to the wiki, it's like a mashup of a bunch of them. Let me see.
It must say something in the trivia. We're gonna
Yeah,
we're for sure gonna talk about it, but like, who wants to play this game? Because I want to play this game.
I would
Like,
play it.
why don't they come up with this?
It's a really good-looking RPG with a weird premise, I guess. From what I gathered, the main character lost their dad and they have to go find them, and their like whole shtick is that they make a lot of golf puns, which is fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's a cute golfing game where you fight the windmill. Apparently,
I'm very for it. For
you're par for the course.
That took me a minute. I apologize. You can edit in my laughter later if you want.
And then Steven, he plays the game so much that he receives a secret ending cutscene. However,
he played it all night.
Yeah, he played it all night.
Literally.
Charlie, was that relatable? Did you look at that and say me?
Oh, I was gonna say this is me in Baldur's Gate. It's the same. It's the same
It's
person.
you in Baldur's Gate. It was you and Tears of the Kingdom. You didn't play Tears. The first Legend of Zelda.
I've also been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I was playing Breath of the Wild. So yes.
Breath of the Wild.
Listen, this is Charlie in their gamer era. Okay. Like 2023, 2024, Charlie is just in the gamer era.
Charlie, only one of us has the last name Gamer, and it's me.
I know. You know what? It's because I met you. It's because I met you, and I got infected with the gamer.
Listen. Do you both like kissing men and playing video games?
I mean, yeah.
I guess we're all gamers.
I mean,
the gamers were the friends we met along
men
the way.
right now because I have a girlfriend, but like,
okay.
Exactly.
So Steven gets this after playing all night. He gets a secret ending cutscene, which it's always good to unlock one of those in a video game. A secret ending cutscene, an Easter egg, a hidden character, what have you. It's always such a good time to feel like I devoted so much time to this video game and I've unlocked the best weapon in the game, or I've unlocked the secret ending, I've unlocked, etc., etc.
I did that recently with Final Fantasy X, and now I'm trying to play through Final Fantasy VIII, which was my favorite when I was a kid, although I have no idea what the story is about still to this day, which is normally the case in a Final Fantasy game, but
like, okay, this like awful scene, it makes me so upset when Steven is trying to watch this secret ending, and then all of the gems are like right on top of him, like getting in his business. I relate to this, okay? This is me when my mom doesn't knock and I'm just like, wait, I'm doing something. Wait, no. And she's like, why are you being so rude right now? And I'm like, give me a second, it's a cutscene, okay?
Charlie, for like half a second there, you sounded like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
You're welcome. Listen, do not interrupt me and the cutscene of my game, okay?
I'm interrupting you in the cutscene of your game right now.
You are. It's true.
They show off the Wailing Stone, which correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't that come back later?
Yes, it does. That's why I'm singing it because we get a song about the Wailing Stone later.
However, I do appreciate that the gems are at least trying to include Steven in this find, where they're like, hey, here's this really cool thing that we found that we think that you would be like so enthralled by, but he's just caught in a moment where he's like, I am not interested in that right this second.
Like any other time, if he had just been like asleep and been like, whoa, that's so cool, presses the button again, like,
yeah,
you know,
whoa,
he
that's
would be so
totally radical, totally tubular to the max, dude. Totally. What are other 90s skateboard terms? Hang 10, bro. No, that's surfing.
Close enough.
close enough. What is surfing if not water skateboarding?
You're right. Which is why Percy Jackson can do both.
Percy Jackson is canonically a skater boy.
Exactly. Uh so we got the Wailing Stone. Good to know. And it's just is I'm still just stuck on the fact that like that he can't see the thing. But he gets very mad. He gets very mad about the fact that he can't do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, because he was like, I wanted to hang out with you guys before, and then you were like, no, we're busy.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go fuck off over here. And
wouldn't you though? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, honestly.
I can't go mini golf, like I can't play my game, I can't stop going to the bathroom because I ate all that creamed corn.
I mean, how much fiber is in a can of cream? I'm gonna Google this real quick. Actually, this is a good thing to Google. How much fiber is in a can of cream corn?
A lot.
All right. So
and then he gets so emotional with the fact that he wants to do something that he wants to do that his powers activate. Because whenever it gets emotional, his powers activate, right? And so he opens up Rose's room in the temple. We didn't know he could do that. They didn't know he could do that. Interesting. And they're like, don't go in there. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's leaving because they can't follow and he wants to do stuff. And then it's cute. It's pink and it's got clouds, guys.
Okay, so in 1 cup of cream corn, there are only 3.1 grams of fiber. So that's not a lot of fiber. So,
but he ate 4.
He ate 4, so that's in total like 15 grams of fiber, which I guess maybe that's when you start shitting yourself. So
yeah.
Shout out to the Steven Universe team for doing the research. How much creamed corn does it take before you're just constantly shitting yourself?
Good. Amazing. Thank you, Steven Universe team.
That's what they're there for.
But I think I already know what the question is going to be. But like quadruple bunk beds? Yes or no? Yes or yes?
Here's the thing about bunk beds. If the bottom one moves, so does the top.
You're right. You're right.
What are my implications? That's up to you.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that a euphemism?
I was going to say,
I think that.
I think the lesson here is don't have sex on bunk beds.
That is the lesson I'm trying to give you here on this explicit rating Steven Universe podcast.
Yes, exactly.
We have to earn our explicit rating. Wait, everyone. Join me in the ceremonial saying fuck once. Fuck. We love
it. Yeah. Now I'm remembering the last time I was in bunk beds, and it was in fact on our beach trip.
Oh, right.
In August. I shared a bunk bed with Mary Clay and kind of Ray, who was like in the weird slide out thing underneath. It was interesting.
You didn't cuddle with Ray to sleep? How dare you?
I would have. They said no.
Wow, rude. Calling Ray out. This is publicly calling Ray out on the podcast. Ray, how dare you not cuddle
Ray,
Charlie?
I'm calling you out. I could have spooned you.
Would you have been big spoon or little spoon?
I just said I would have spooned them.
So. Oh, yes. Okay, that's how it works. So yeah, Steven opens the room to Rose's door. The gems tell him don't go inside. He goes inside. And inside he proceeds to explore. He's like, hey, there's no bed. One appears. And he's like, let's make it a quadruple bunk bed. Yeah. And then I'm already spoiling who my pearl point is. He manifests a tiny floating whale.
Yes! The tiny floating whale! My favorite! That's a little guy!
Is that
he was very cute?
Is that the literal Archangel Ray Raphael?
Yeah, that is in fact the little Archangel Raphael right there. But like, I mean, I also do think it's funny that Steven's like, huh, how is it a room with no bed? Steven, the gems don't sleep. We know this. Everybody knows this. But I'm so glad that he's finally like, I want to watch my game ending uninterrupted. And then he
Now,
gets it.
the question
Yay, mission
is
accomplished.
not the actual question of the episode, but the question is that the actual secret ending of the game, or is that just what the room thinks it should be?
Don't ruin it for me, Robert. Don't ruin my life.
I'll ruin your life all I want, Charlie. Hey, you are now aware that you are breathing.
I'm always aware that I'm breathing. That's
you
the
are
secret.
you are aware of your tongue in your mouth.
The thing is, I don't breathe.
Yeah, Charlie, you're just constantly in a flux of coughing for your life and ingesting whatever air can come in.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, Steven, Mr. Universe, if you will, what's his full fucking name? Mr. Universe Quartz DeMayo Cutie
Steven
Pie.
Quartz Cutie Pie. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've forgotten.
If only that was his. Listen. When they make his birth certificate, when he leaves being shitty at the end, that's what they should like put on the birth certificate. Does Steven have a social security number? Greg,
No.
have you taken care of this?
No. I guarantee he does not.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big no.
Okay. Steven Quartz Cutie Pie DeMayo Diamond Universe. There we go.
Right. So
God damn.
After he watches the ending, Steven's hungry, and so the room gives him a donut, which is just made of air. Which, true to form, that's what a donut is.
Oh. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, but at least it's flavored air. You know what I mean? Like, when this donut like disappears from his hand, does it like give the little like implication of like chocolate or like strawberry or something? You know, like give him something. You know?
Can the room artificially create smell?
Can the room artificially create? Listen, the only thing, I guess the only senses that the room can play with are sight, feel, and and hearing. Like,
yeah, but it can't even fully do feel because you would be able to ingest it.
I also can't fully feel.
I want to. Do you want to unpack how the fact that you can hold the donut, but once it's in your mouth, it disappears?
It disappears. Yeah.
Why?
Charlie, I think if we sat here trying to do that, we would lose our minds. So I'm all for it. I think the room is just good at replicating everything external to the body. But the second you're going to put something in your body, like food or water, then it's like, that's it. We're out. We have no idea what to do.
That's totally fair. Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're putting down there. So then he's like, well, I want to leave and actually go get some food.
And then
he leaves. He
leaves,
quote
right?
unquote leaves the room.
I don't know what you're talking about. He leaves the room. He's back in the house. I guess the gems are still on their mission. They didn't come back yet.
Yeah, they just left again. It's fine. He goes to the big donut, and you know,
Sadie and Lars, they're a little weird, but like at least they greet Steven. They're happy to see him. They give him his donuts, and hey, they love him. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think the only
they're
weird
a
thing
lot
is that
friendlier than usual. Let's just say.
I was gonna say, Sadie, I buy. Lars being like, we love Steven. Goodbye.
Morning, Steven.
And then Onion, he goes and sees Onion, and I'm like, you know what? This is par for the course for Onion, honestly.
Yeah, that's literally
nothing out of the ordinary.
Just being a little weird guy. I feel like we're gonna break our skit for a second. I feel like the room encapsulated Onion perfectly. Just a little weird dude sitting in the corner.
Yep. That's exactly Onion. And then we get our little callback to the last time Josh was here. We see Frybo
in possibly
in the window.
Yeah, still terrifying. And is kind of in this loop of like just setting down fry bits in front of Steven.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
yep, just still as terrifying as it was last time. Thankfully,
Yeah.
with not like murderous fry tentacles and ketchup for blood, that's a
Yeah.
plus. But at any
Yeah.
moment, it could turn on a dime.
Yeah. I kind of love how because like Frybo is in a continuous loop where he's stacking the same little container of
Yes.
fry bits on the exact same spot. And I do like that it's not that he like when he puts the new stack, it moves the previous fry bit stack.
No, it's just
No,
on top of it.
it's just like on top of it's just like a weird computer glitch.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly.
This is in fact a computer simulation, isn't it?
In a broad sense, yeah.
And then we get Connie and the water. The water moving is really, really sketch. Connie
Just a
has no
little bit.
eyes.
And everyone, and then he like starts freaking out, walking like backs off from not Connie, and he sees that all the inhabitants of Beach City, quote unquote, have like very simplistic looking pupils.
And okay, that's what they look like when they're like zoomed out. I think when they're like the really tiny forms of them, that's what they actually look like
Right.
in the show.
Oh, also we forgot to mention he passes by the arcade real quick, and you know what starts up?
Meat Beat Mania. We can't talk about it. And then it's so weird how he like escapes and ends up with Greg. Like the ground like swallowed him up and then spit him out at the car wash.
Yeah, it was like, here you go. Here's your dad.
Here's your dad.
Finally, we left that really weird nightmare. We can just sit with Greg on the van eating donuts.
Yeah. But like, okay. I have my thoughts on why Greg is the most fleshed out one here, even though it does end up going like a little sideways. But it's because Greg and Rose, like maybe Greg's been in the room, or maybe it's just that like Greg is the one that Rose knew the best out of all these people. Like she actually knew him, so the room could like recreate that.
I was thinking it was the latter of what you just said, like that. I don't know if the room is connected to Rose's like consciousness or her memories or anything, but I just took it as though like
He's
since
in there.
yeah, I imagine that he would have been in there at some point. But
Yeah, who knows what fun romps they've had in the room.
Hey,
with
yo.
quadruple bunk beds, you know.
Hey, yo. Are you implying that Greg and Rose did the do?
They fucked. They did in fact fuck at least once.
At least
At
once.
least once.
Or sorry, they fused, I should say.
Yeah. We got to keep this explicit podcast PG.
I was gonna say it's like the euphemism for something that we see like much later in the show though.
Yeah.
When Greg wants to try fusing with Rose so that they can, connect better. It's like, oh yeah, they kind of did fuse.
Yeah.
They kind of did.
So Steven is just like relaying his whole problem from this episode where he's like, I feel bad for yelling at the gems, but I wanted to be alone. And Greg gives some very good advice. He's like, that's okay. It's okay to want to be alone sometimes.
It's right. It's right. And like they're having a not terrible conversation. They're eating the donuts, or at least Greg is. And
he goes like,
I mean, again, that's not unlike Greg is the thing. I mean, maybe unlike Greg in this situation, but it's stuff that he would have done.
And then I'm just going to quote the Wikipedia here because I love how it phrases it. When Steven wonders about the current state of Beach City, Greg starts reciting ill-suited platitudes.
All right.
And that's when Steven tries to take a bite out of the donut and he realizes he's still in the room. Bum, bum, bum. Can we also talk about how once Steven realizes that he's still in the room, Beach City just starts to fucking disintegrate around him?
It does. This is like literally, this is the horror of it all. It's just like, oh no, I'm still here. Ah, let me out.
Steven no-clipped with the map and he started to fall into the void.
It's fine.
It feels very much like one of those dreams where you feel like you're falling and like you just don't know how it's gonna end.
It's very reminiscent, for me at least, that there are many games I know how to break so that I can get out of bounds and I will fall through. Particularly the Batman Arkham games. That's my bread and butter. I know how to get out of bounds in those games and just fall into the void.
Okay, this isn't about falling into the void, but have I told y'all, like, the first thing that I did when I played Breath of the Wild, I was just like, ooh, there's a cliff.
Jump off the cliff.
And I was just like, intrusive thoughts, I'm gonna jump off the cliff. And what did I do? Immediately died. But I was like, I can jump off cliffs.
Hey, Charlie, don't have those intrusive thoughts, like, in real life, please.
I don't have them in real life. In real life, I have a fear of falling. But in video games, I'm just like, make my character jump off a cliff. Make them do it.
Gotta see if there's fall damage. That's one of my favorite things about Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man 2 game. I say new, it came out like 2 months ago at this point. But my favorite thing was that you can turn on fall damage and you can turn off. They have a program. They have a program in the game called Web Swing Assist. So if you turn that to 0, you are fully have to learn how to swing properly. It won't be like guided assisted swinging. You will fall to the ground or crash into the wall, and it's great. It's great. I reckon if you've played Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, I highly recommend turning off swing assist, bring it to 0, turn on fall damage, play like Spider-Man.
It's crazy.
All right. In Baldur's Gate, I can turn on Featherfall, so I can just fall and
Charlie,
I don't
be a wimp. Just turn off Featherfalling and don't fall.
I mean, I just don't cast the spell. That's what I do. It's a spell that I have to cast.
You
know, I can just like fall right into the Underdark and like die immediately.
That's terrifying.
That. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I will worry about it, Charlie.
So Steven, the room let him out finally, as far as we know, because like he finds the gems, and then he takes a bite of Garnet. He's like, okay, it's real. I mean, that's the thing to do, as we've established, you know, the room can't make stuff that goes inside of your body. So just take a chomp out of somebody to know if they're real.
I do love that Amethyst joins in on this and bites Pearl.
Of course. It's Amethyst. Why wouldn't she?
She's probably been wanting to do that for a while.
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Just more so to like get on Pearl's nerves is what I meant. But maybe that too. Who knows?
Everyone knows that Amethyst wants to munch Pearl. This is getting off the rails.
Munch, munch, munch. Eat that Pearl.
Eat that Pearl. I do love how when Steven bites Garnet, it's like, ouch.
Yeah. And now the gems, they have time for Steven. They're gonna go and do mini golf, and I'm so glad that, like Steven, he found Greg's pants at the beginning of this episode. He found his old golfing pants. He's like, Garnet, they're too big for me, but maybe you could wear them. She's wearing the pants.
I also love how prior to this, he's trying to give him the whole talk about like, you know, I'm sorry, I guess I can't get everything I want. But then when they're at mini golf, the episode ends with Steven being like, I always get what I want. And then it cuts to black.
Exactly.
Steven, you're going to learn very quickly that getting whatever you want, not always good.
Yeah.
he won't always get whatever he wants. But today he does.
Hey,
It's
Charlie.
okay.
Josh.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Crystal Temple trivia time.
Hey, yo.
It's time for some trivia. In the latter parts of the episode, the simplified character statues in Rose's room resemble the character's far render distance models used by the Steven Universe crew. Hey, I
The
mentioned
lion's
that.
face on top of the Lion Liquors freezer in the Big Donut has changed expression, with closed eyes and a somber face.
Oh. The character that is the most detailed in the room, other than Steven, is Greg Universe, Steven's father.
The room seems to behave like a computer or a lucid dream, albeit limited to handling small tasks. This may be why Greg and the car wash. Jesus Christ. This may be why Greg and the car wash are not so different from their actual counterparts.
The tiny floating whale is also voiced by Susan Egan, the voice actress of Rose Quartz. Thus, unbeknownst to Steven, the whale spoke in Rose's voice when asking him what he really wants. Did no one else catch that?
I
'Cause
actually
heard
did
it.
not.
I heard it and I was like, oh my god!
It is possible that time passes differently in Rose's room. Despite all the events that happen while Steven is in the room, when Steven exits the room, the gems are in the same positions as they were when he entered.
Aw.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Now, Charlie, you won't understand this one because you didn't grow up weird as an Invader Zim kid.
It's
but
true.
The tiny floating whale could be a reference to Minnie Moose from Invader Zim.
Oh, okay. The secret ending in Steven's video game can be a reference to the Adventure Time episode Escape from the Citadel when Finn meets his dad Martin. Oh.
The mini-golf game... Oh.
Didn't know.
The mini-golf game is a combination of the games Pokemon, Earthbound, The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Two of the characters Steven plays as in the game bear a strong resemblance to Misty and Brock, two of Ash Ketchum's friends in Pokemon.
Yeah, I buy it.
I'll have to watch it again because I didn't really notice that, to be honest.
The potato chips Steven is eating while playing the mini golf game have a similar logo to the Utz potato chips.
I love me an Utz potato chip.
Oh,
My favorite chip bag to get is the Utz Party Mix or the Utz Honey Barbecue, and I will have a good day.
I love the Ripple sour cream and onion.
Charlie, do you have a preference for Utz chips?
I don't eat Utz.
Charlie, we can't do this podcast anymore, Charlie. I'm gonna have to go to your house right now and kill you.
I'm sorry.
I am prepared.
I eat Tostitos.
I'm prepared to make the 5-hour drive to kill you.
If I'm gonna eat chips, I'm gonna eat Tostitos. Okay, that's my kryptonite.
Okay.
Is Tostitos scoops, and you know what I do with the scoops? I scoop the broken chips into my scoops.
That doesn't cut the roof of your mouth doing that?
No.
Oh.
Charlie is
all right.
Is crazy.
I enjoy this. I enjoy my scoops.
In the picture, I'm sorry. In the picture, we can see a two-headed duck from Adventure Time in the Keep Beach City Weird advertisement.
Ooh. And there's like a little picture here, and it's, that is a two-headed duck. Interesting. When Steven starts playing his video game, Professor Sandtrap says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this," which is a reference to Legend of Zelda. In the Pokemon series, NPCs will also stop you similarly while attempting to leave the starting area without a Pokemon.
Professor Sandtraps bears a resemblance to Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic the Hedgehog series, copying the mustache, nose, and shades he's wearing.
The console Steven is playing on is based on and nearly identical to the N64.
That's a quick little question. What is the first game console you ever played on? I think for me, it was a Super Nintendo.
Game Boy Advance?
Valid.
I think mine was... I think we had like a Super Nintendo when I was a kid because my mom used to play Mario when she was pregnant with me.
Very nice. Very
cool
nice.
Little fun fact. But
well, you were a gamer since the womb.
Right?
Yeah.
Rose's room is first seen in Together Breakfast. When Steven is sliding down the Crystal Hearts vein, Steven says, "This isn't so bad," in a room with a pink background filled with light pink clouds. For a short time, Rose's room appears again in Steven and the Stevens.
Greg's golf bag from Laser Light Cannon is shown again.
Cool. Good to know. I mean, that means it was in the garage, as everything Greg owns is in the garage. Part of the song Rose's Room can be heard in Together Breakfast.
The Wailing Stone in this episode also appeared in The Message.
This episode features many past episode references, such as Connie and her bracelet from Bubble Buddies, Frybo from Frybo, Meat Beat Mania from Arcade Mania, Lion Liquors from Gemglow, and many one-time minor characters from previous episodes. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so many things. So many things.
Do we go for errors? We don't do errors, do we?
We don't do errors.
All right.
Errors are a lot.
All right, now that begs the question. Literally, what is the question?
What would you make in Rose's room? Like, what would you ask for?
Big titty goth GF.
You know, Robert, why are you stealing my? I don't think
I'm broke. I've been broken. Okay.
Shout out to my boyfriend who listens to this, who would probably agree with me.
You can share her.
Oh.
Oh my. This is definitely an explicit rating. Anyway, I all of my thoughts are like food related, which then I wouldn't be able to partake in. So so it probably would be like I would ask for like an N64 or so, like something similar to Steven, just to like, because I didn't have an N64 growing up. I think I like after the Super Nintendo we switched to like PlayStation, so I mainly did that. So I think, you know, having to blow out the cartridge and like put it in and like the nostalgia that's like associated with that, I'd want to like relive that a little.
I'm gonna pull something that we don't see till like maybe the next time, or like whenever we see Rose's room again. I would make the costume shop that they have there so that I could just like to play dress up and wear all the cosplays.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Legit. They're all going to be in your perfect size. They're all going to look great on you. And you're going to have everything you need. Like,
and you can take all the photos, do all the TikToks, like do it all in there. And the room
can do it for you, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Schedule it on social media.
God, if I could tell the room to please kindly edit like all my podcasts and also promote them on social media, that'd be fantastic.
Yes. Wait, we figured it out. Ask Rose's room to be the social media manager for a podcast.
That's listen. I love recording and editing so much. That's very easy to do. And then afterwards, promoting the podcast. There's a reason I don't do that. Charlie is in charge of the social media.
You think I'm good at this? No, I'm not.
You're better in it than me, because I would have forgotten to post anything about any of the episodes we've released.
At this point, I have reminders for when I need to like post on socials for me and also to share the other podcasts. It becomes such like white noise at this point when I get a reminder on my phone like to do that, and I'm just like, because I see it all the time, so it's not even a good reminder anymore. I used to be on top of it more.
And then the follow-up question is, who are we giving our Pearl Point to this episode? I have said that I'm giving it to the tiny little whale.
I mean, if I can't give it to the whale, because Robert's giving it to the whale.
Who's to say we can't give all the love to the whale?
I think that's gotta be unanimous. Josh, are we giving it to the whale?
I was actually going to give it to Steven's dad this episode because he actually gave sound advice.
You mean the fake Steven's dad?
Well, the fake Steven's dad, but I feel like he would have said it in actual real life. It may have taken a bit for him to get there, but like, you know.
And then he would have gone like, and then
yeah.
I'm gonna give my pro point to the golf pants.
Ooh, yes.
Like, thank you, Garnet, for wearing those golf pants.
They indeed fit Garnet.
Yeah, they do. She just needed a belt because she's got a little tiny waist.
That's it, right? That's what. All right. Before I'm like, what else do we do when we end? I'm like, we did. We did the question. We did pearl points. Josh, before we leave, would you like to once again tell our audience where they can find you, what you do, and why you exist?
Absolutely. Well,
Josh exists because Josh is wonderful, and we don't deserve him. Okay.
Thank you so much for saying that. Yes, so you can find me on any podcast streaming platforms at Super Scary. I also guest on a bunch of the Deus Ex Media podcasts, and I've been collaborating with a lot of horror podcast creators, so keep an eye out for that. I post every Monday, and we are starting up later this month in January for our season 4. I'm on year 2 of podcasting, which is insane to me. But I kept it up this long.
I have one question and one question only.
Yeah. Yes.
I have 2 questions then. If the answer to the first question is what I want, are you covering the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
Probably not this season.
Homophobic. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Terrible.
I was gonna say, who else wants to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's but Robert?
Yeah. Me. But yes, once I do finally get around to that, I will bring you on for that. However, this season we're doing a lot of classic horror movies, so I got a nice little mix in there, a little bit of everything for everybody. So I usually try to appeal to my fans that are not so horror movie inclined or don't like them, because I used to be that person at one point, so try to have a little bit of everything for everybody. So
horror, what is this horror you speak of, not being into horror? I don't know.
But yeah, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Super Scary Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and you can email me at superscarypodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, well, Robert.
Charbeam.
If every podcast were perfect,
we wouldn't have the bits.
Bye.
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 You can follow this podcast socials at The Bits SU Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our Diamond line through thebitsSUpod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, and I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Damn is spelled D-A-M. If you want to hear more from me, check out one of my many podcasts. I have a Once Upon a Time podcast called Entering Storybrooke, a Kim Possible podcast called That's a Sitch, and an Osman Verse podcast called the Truum Grammar Book Club.
The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Super Scary, a love letter to superheroes, sci-fi, and horror movies, hosted by Josh.
Do you love to be super scared? Do you enjoy listening to hilarious hot takes on timeless classics? Well, fear not, listeners. I'm here. Welcome to the Super Scary Podcast, where we cover everything from the supernatural to the superpowered. I'm your host, Josh, a scaredy cat nerd who enjoys superhero, sci-fi, and horror movies way too much. Whether I'm processing my trauma from Texas Chainsaw Massacre or reminiscing on the nostalgia of Hocus Pocus, my guest and I have a hilarious time going through our favorite and sometimes not so favorite moments. I'm your friend till the end, listeners, because everyone's entitled to one super scary podcast. We post weekly episodes on Mondays, and you can find us at Super Scary Podcast on all the socials. See you in the afterlife, listeners.
And dying already before the recording even starts. Is it not an episode of The Bits if Charlie isn't dying before we start recording?
Is it not an episode with Charlie at all if that doesn't happen?
An episode of The Charlie.
Do you not know how much I edited out of OTEG for it to premiere today?
What if you edited
and it was
out,
just all of me coughing?
What if you edited out all the ums and ahs?
I can't do that. It's like literally not possible.
It kind of is. You just got to do it fast. Anyway.
Dave X Media.